Welcome back to Welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fourth segment, which is going to be talking about Adael Amador getting called up by the Colorado Rockies, one of the top prospects in baseball. So yeah, let's get into it. So Adael Amador is, of course, one of the bright spots for this Rockies organization, a guy who I have talked about on this show as well. Whenever I talk about the Rockies, I get to mention him because, I like him a lot. I think he's a really good hitter, and just a really good piece of this Rockies team. So sorry, I keep coughing, but I don't know. Yeah, so with Amador, you have a switch-hitting 21-year-old infielder, was signed in 2019 by the Rockies, already a fast riser, making it to the big leagues already. Got a hit in his first swing in the major leagues, also played over the weekend versus the Cardinals, so did a nice job there in that series and showed off his talent. With Amador, he's 6'2", 200, so nice size for a middle infielder. I think this is a guy who profiles more as a second baseman than a shortstop in the future, but has versatility there. You've already extended your supposed shortstop of the future in Ezequiel Tovar, so I don't really think that Amador is going to end up being the shortstop anyway. So looking at Amador, he was one of the top international players on the market in 2019 and 2020 for the signing period. He got a $1.5 million bonus to join the Rockies. And right out of the gate with the Rockies was a really, really good hitter and performed very, very well within the professional organization. He has had some injury risks down in the minor leagues, breaking a hamate bone in his right hand for 2023, but overall has been pretty consistent outside of that. You look at Amador, he's more of a contact hitter than a power hitter, but also the power isn't that bad. I mean, it's still a 45 grade, so it's not horrible. You look at him in the minors, he tore up A-ball, he tore up rookie ball, tore up A-ball, did really well last year in 2023, played for three different minor league teams and did very, very well with his OPS. Hadn't done amazing in Double-A this year, but still showed enough for the Rockies to end up calling him up. It is very interesting to see a hitting prospect get called up straight from Double-A, but obviously the Rockies believe in him and thought that he was ready for it. Now, Amador is very good defensively. I think that's where a lot of his value comes from. I think he's going to end up being a plus defender in this league. He's a good contact guy, good speed guy, and I think that overall he's going to be a very solid player. I think honestly, he reminds me a little bit of Jose Reyes, who, of course, the former Rocky. I think Reyes at his peak is going to be a way better player than Amador was, but I still think Amador reminds me a little bit of Jose Reyes in just kind of the way of being a switch-hitting middle infielder who has a lot of speed and good contact ability, good defense as well. So I think this guy's going to be a big part of the Rockies' future, and the Rockies haven't had a lot to like within the future within this organization the past few years now. But I mean, I had a whole segment on them. I believe I was on Thursday about Chris Bryant and how bad that contract is for the organization and how much of a hole it puts them in. So of course, there's that things that still not perfect there, but at the same time, if you're a Rockies fan, there is still something to like here. There's still a lot of good pieces. You, of course, now are going to have a middle infield, hopefully for the next 5 to 10 years, of Amador and Tovar. Tovar's already been extended. I would not be surprised to see Amador get extended. And I think that overall, that's exciting. Both are very exciting, dynamic middle infield prospects who can hit the ball well and play great defense. And after that, outside of him, there's also a lot of other players that are big parts of this Rockies' future. You, of course, have on the prospect list Chase Dollander, the 9th overall pick from last year's draft, a starting pitching prospect that I love. I think is going to be a big part of some team's future rotation. It'd be interesting to see how he does work out in Coors. Obviously, that not being a pitcher-friendly ballpark, so that'll be interesting to see. But I still like Dollander a lot. Yanikel Fernandez. I apologize if I pronounced that name wrong, but another guy in the Hartford Yardgoats, a sweet swinging lefty outfielder who's 21, should be up by the end of this year or the start of next year. I think also is a really high prospect and is going to be a big part of this Rocky future. Jordan Beck, who's already been called up by the Rockies, hasn't done great this year, but I think brings a lot of power to the table with this Rockies team and could be a big part of their future. Sterling Thompson, another power-hitting outfielder that I think is going to bring a lot there, 6'3", 200. You also have Zach Veen, who I love. Zach Veen was one of my prospect crushes coming out of the draft whenever he got drafted a few years ago. I think he has light tower power, and he hasn't really hit as great as I figured in the minor leagues, but I still believe in him. I still think he's going to end up being a good prospect. So, you think about this Rockies organization. The past few years, you kind of think of dysfunction, but you look at this future core. You look at the amount of good, solid players that are coming through these ranks and these prospects that are developing. You get excited if you're a Rockies fan. You get excited if you, look at what the future brings for this team. You already have some players on the MLB roster, like a Ryan McMahon. Will he be here past the trade deadline? That'll be interesting to see. But overall, he's still a great player. So I think if you're a Rockies fan, you're much happier than you would be in the past. You have a lot of prospects coming up. I think Amador is just the start of this team, and overall brings a lot of value, and is going to end up being a really good prospect for this team, a really good piece of this team. And yeah, I'm really excited to watch him. I think he is a dynamic talent. I think he's really, really good. And again, this Rockies team, while it isn't amazing, there are pieces here that are beginning to get filled out, and you're beginning to see, the fruits of their labor of being so horrible. You're gonna you have a top 3 draft pick this year already. You can get a Charlie Condon, a Travis Bazanza if they fall. Jack Coglione is someone that is projected to go to you in most mock drafts, and I think would absolutely be a great pick. Chase Burns is also available. Nick Kurtz, JJ Weatherholt. So you can draft another dynamic talent. Sorry about turning my mic off there. I had a cough. I've been talking a lot, so I apologize about that. But yeah, you draft another dynamic talent to add to this great prospect ranking, this great organization. So if I'm a Rockies fan, I'm very excited about where this future's going. And, I didn't really think I'd ever say that about the Rockies. But hey, there's a lot going on with this team right now, a lot of positive things. And yeah, are they going to, be good right away? No, but it's going to take some time. But in 2 to 3 years, if they're competitive again, I wouldn't be surprised. And look, as much as they've thrown around money, it hasn't been great with the Chris Bryant signing, at least they've shown they're willing to throw around money. And Colorado's a beautiful state. They got a beautiful ballpark. If you're a hitter, you can hit at least probably 10 more home runs than you would at any other ballpark. So they could sign some big-time free agents in the future. Not sure if they exactly want to go to the Rockies organization, but hey, they at least are willing to spend money. So there are some positive times coming right now for this Rockies team, and I think that overall, if you're a Rockies fan, you should be excited. You have the right to be excited, and I think that things are going in the right direction finally for this organization after so many years of just incompetent people running the ship, and not great things happening with you guys. So yeah, that is my 4th segment here, talking about the Rockies and Adael Amador, one of their top prospects, being called up from the minor leagues. We'll be going into our 5th and final segment, which is going to be talking about the notable games from the weekend, recapping the series of the Mets and Phillies in London, and then the Yankees and Dodgers series as well. So yeah, we'll be going over that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.